Ibrahim Olaniyan. They're all here in the house to be part of this opening ceremony. Can we please appreciate them? Your Excellency, on behalf of the IGP, let me appreciate the good people of Ogun State again. I told them yesterday when I addressed the media, that we're going to have heavy traffic into Ogun State. They have been so patient, they are accommodating, and of course, we've been enjoying staying in Ogun State. I want us to appreciate the good people of Ogun State here once again. Can we please jam our hands together for them? Your Excellency, I want to put on record that since we came on board here, we came in yesterday, members of the press, Ogun chapter, they have been so wonderful. And I want to tell Your Excellency, I started my PR career in Ogun State 2008. They've been so wonderful to us in Ogun State. So, gentlemen of the press, you're welcome to cover this event. Your Excellency, we had this conference, the first edition of this conference in Owerri, Imo State, at Landmark Event Center Owerri, from October 30th to November 1st, 2023. The theme of the conference then was fostering economic prosperity, social integration, and political development through enhanced internal security mechanism. Your Excellency, this year, the theme is improving Nigeria's internal security and economic prosperity through inclusive policing. When you note the themes, you see many things are common to the first and the second, which means the Nigerian Police Force, as the lead agency in internal security of this country, is very keen to supporting policies and agenda of the federal government to make sure we have quick economic recovery in this country, social integration, and development in all spheres. Your Excellency, coming together is the beginning. Meeting together is progress, and working together is achievement. And we have an Inspector General of Police who is very, very interested in making sure the Nigerian government succeeds in its plan to make sure we actualize the renewed hope agenda of the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. On that note, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I want to invite to this podium the man God has given the mantle of leadership of the Nigeria Police Force, someone who has spent more than 3 decades in the police, and of course, is been making sure that we have a police force that is professionally competent, rule of law compliant, service driven, and people friendly. Join me as I welcome to this podium the 22nd Indigenous Inspector General of Police of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, a great mathematician, philosopher, and of course, a perfectionist. IGP Olukayode Adeolu Egbetokon, PhD, holder Nigerian Police Medal and Fellow of Society for Peace Studies and Practice. We can do better for him as he comes to this podium to address this wonderful gathering this morning. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Band. Your Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, ably represented by the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency, Vice President Kashim Shettima. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun, CON, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Ogun State, Engineer Mrs. Noimot Oyedele, the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, ably represented by Honorable Maki Yelema, Chairman House Committee on Police Affairs, and other members of the National Assembly who are here present. The Chairman, Police Service Commission, DIG Hachimu Arugungun, retired, ably represented by DIG Taiwo Lakano, retired. The Chairman of African Union Mechanism for Police Cooperation, AFRIPO, also the Inspector General of Police of Kenya National Police Force, IGP Douglas Kanja. You are welcome. The Chairman, East Africa Police Chiefs Cooperation, EAPCO, also the Inspector General of Police of Rwanda, my brother, IGP Felix Namuhoraye. You are welcome. Representatives of service chiefs who are here present, the Chairman, Economic and Financial Crime Commission, EFCC, Mr. Ola Olukoyede, members of the police force, Nigerian Police Force management team here present, conference and retreat participants, other distinguished invited guests, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. It is with profound honor and a deep sense of duty that I welcome you all to the opening ceremony of the 5th edition of Conference and Retreat for Senior Police Officers. This annual gathering serves as a crucial platform for assessing our administrative and operational strategies, exchanging insights, and realigning our policing objectives with the evolving global security landscape. Over the past few years, each edition of this conference has offered valuable insights that have shaped contemporary policing in Nigeria, promoting innovation, collaboration, and best practices. In particular, the most recent conference was incredibly impactful. When we last gathered in Owerri for the 4th edition of this conference and retreat, we convened under the theme Fostering Economic Prosperity, Social Integration, and Political Development through Enhanced Internal Security Mechanisms. That theme highlighted the crucial roles of security in national development, emphasizing how a secure nation promotes economic growth, strengthens social cohesion, and fosters political stability. Over the past year, we have diligently worked to implement measures that align with this vision. Today, we gathered under the theme, Improving Nigeria's Internal Security and Economic Prosperity through Inclusive Policing. This theme naturally flows from our last conference, while we previously focused on the broader integration of security mechanisms into national development. We now emphasize the critical aspect of inclusive policing, highlighting the imperative of an all-society policing approach to addressing current security challenges and enhancing economic prosperity. This year's theme captures the essence of our strategic direction. It mirrors Mr. President's security vision and underscores our determination to cultivate a police force that is professionally competent, intelligence-driven, and equipped to confront emerging threats proactively. To achieve an in-depth discussion and deepened reflection by participants, the team has been organized into 9 sub-teams as follows. Sub-team A, strategizing on a force action plan for inclusive policing in Nigeria. B, the imperative of adopting new policing strategies in Africa, a study of Rwanda. C, crime outlook for 2024-2025, preparing the force for new internal security challenges. D, law enforcement guidance for policing public demonstrations and protests, the African experience. E, Nigeria's cybercrime outlook, threats and opportunities. F, welfare of police officers as motivation for attaining professionalism, increased output, and enhanced service delivery. G, recent efforts in global police cooperation and impact on countering violent extremism in Africa. H, building sustainable police-citizen partnership through media engagements. And I, combating the phenomenon of misinformation, disinformation, and fake news, a significant challenge, fueling insecurity in Nigeria and impeding the progress in our efforts in making economic progress. Our nation continues to confront complex threats, including violent crimes, cyber-related offenses, terrorism, and transnational organized crimes. To effectively address these challenges, intelligence-led policing must remain at the core of our operations. We are therefore committed to deepening strategic partnerships with both domestic and international security agencies while enhancing community engagement to bolster public trust and promote active citizen participation in policing. Building on the successes of previous conferences, we have undertaken major reforms in investigative procedures, prioritizing forensic analysis, digital case management, and improved judicial collaboration. The reorganization of the Force Criminal Investigation Department and other specialized units has been a priority, ensuring that our detectives operate in line with globally accepted best practices. Furthermore, recognizing the growing threat of cybercrime, we have strengthened the Nigerian Police Force National Cybercrime Center, complemented by the Anti-Money Laundering and Terrorism Financing Unit. These units, in collaboration with the Special Fraud Unit, are actively working to combat financial crimes and ensure Nigeria's compliance with international security and financial regulations. Our intensified operations and commitment to the cooperation with the military and other security agencies in our fight against banditry, kidnapping, and other organized crimes are yielding significant results. Moving forward, all commands have been mandated to implement a comprehensive action plan aimed at reducing crime rates by 50% in 2025. This also will form a crucial part of our discussion at this conference. Recognizing the indispensable role of public trust in effective policing, we launched the Nigerian Police Youth Summit in 2024 to bridge the gap between law enforcement and younger generation. We intend to build on this initiative by expanding youth engagement programs nationwide, reinforcing our commitment to community-driven policing. To further enhance the welfare of our officers, we have initiated strategic housing schemes. Under my leadership, the first ever police housing summit was convened, leading to the reconstruction of dilapidated barracks and the development of new office and accommodation facilities across the country. Our personnel who work tirelessly to protect lives and property deserve the best, and their welfare remains a top priority of this administration. Investment in human capital is also paramount. We have finalized plans for specialized training in forensic investigation, intelligence gathering, counterterrorism, and cybercrime detection. These training programs will be conducted in collaboration with both local and international stakeholders to ensure our officers are equipped with the requisite skills for modern law enforcement. As we continue with the current policing year, our focus remains steadfast on enhancing intelligence sharing, strengthening forensic and digital investigative capabilities, and upholding zero tolerance for corruption and human rights violation within the force. Simultaneously, we will continue to prioritize the welfare and well-being of our officers to boost morale and enhance service delivery. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, security threats and policing challenges are experienced everywhere across the world. As a result, there has been an increasing knowledge sharing among police leaders in different countries. During the last year's retreat, we hosted the President of Interpol, Major General Ahmed Nasser El-Rufai. I am glad to report that at this year's conference, we are hosting 2 Inspectors General of Police from African countries, namely Kenya and Rwanda. Their presence at this conference underscores our emphasis on international cooperation, notably in training, knowledge and intelligence sharing, as well as technical support. This annual conference and retreat, the 5th edition, was originally scheduled for November 2024, but had to be rescheduled for operational reasons. Consequently, another retreat for this year will take place later in this year, 2025.
Then we have in the House the Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of the LS, DIG Banji Lawal, MNI. Then we have in the House DIG in charge of the Force Criminal Investigation Department, DIG Jonathan Towuru, MNI. Then a very beautiful woman, because the IGP is gender sensitive. We always have our women considered at the management level and, of course, across our commands and formations in Nigeria. I have the First Secretary of the Nigerian Police Force here with us, AIG Adetutu, Rhoda Olofu. And we have the Assistant Inspector General of Police in the 17th Zonal Command Headquarters of Nigeria Police Force. We have all of them here, and other AIGs from various commands and formations of Nigerian Police Force, they are all here. Commissioners of police, they are all here. But sir, Your Excellency, let me say this again, that one thing we do in the police is that we don't leave ourselves alone. We never walk alone. I think Liverpool fans will understand this. We have our retired officers who are indigenes of Ogun State or who reside in Ogun State. They are in their number to support the Inspector General of Police. Can we please appreciate all our retired senior officers that are here in the house? You can see them, all of them on the Agbada, Babariga, all of them, DIGs, AIGs, Commissioners of Police. They are all here. We welcome all of you to this event. And once again, we want to welcome all of you. As the event continues, other MCs will continue to please do proper recognition. On that note, I'm inviting Ralph to come and continue with moderation of this event. Thank you. I shall be back.
Thank you very much. A man was critically ill in hospital. The doctors were in doubt of how much time he had to live, and they gave him chance to interact with his family. So while on his sickbed, called out to the wife, "Oh, you dear." The wife said, "I am here." So, "Where is my son?" The son said, "I'm here." "What of my daughter?" The daughter said, "Daddy, we are all here." "What of the lastborn?" Said, "The lastborn is also here." The dying trader looked at all of them and said, "This one, you all are here. Who is in the shop?" As I got here today and I saw too many policemen, I was wondering who is in the station. But I remember these are senior police officers. They don't have to be in the station for things to keep moving. All right, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to take some goodwill messages, as is tradition anytime we gather for this conference. Let me start by inviting the chairman of the Police Service Commission, DIG Hashim Argungu, retired, who is ably represented today by DIG Taiwo Lakanu, retired. Please, a round of applause as he comes up here today to welcome, sir.
Before you go, let me just tell you this. Being a policeman is the toughest. Thank you. Let me just advise you, or let me tell you. Being a policeman is tougher than being a married man. How do you know about rural Nigeria? The vice president is here. He might come in to tell me that ruling Nigeria is tougher than being a policeman. But I'm sure that being a policeman is tougher than being a married woman. Do you agree with me? Yes. Thank you. Let me quickly acknowledge and recognize the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, ably represented by the Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Senator Kashim Shettima, GCONSA. The host governor, Executive Governor, Ogun State, His Excellency Prince Dapo Abeokuta, MFR. People sometimes call him my twin brother. And he too has confirmed this. I'm a lucky man. Honorable Minister of Police Affairs, His Excellency Senator Ibrahim Gaidam, Chairman Senate Committee on Police Affairs, Senator Madori, Chairman National Committee on Police Affairs, Honorable Maki Yaliman, the Chief Host, IGP Kade Adelu Ekpetokun, and his colleagues in Nigeria and from Africa. I don't want to dwell much on names because there are too many. Please let me stand on existing protocol. I'm representing the Chairman Police Service Commission, who is unavoidably absent. I will quickly go through his note. If there are errors, put the blame on me. Though I took pains to go through. I read, please. It is with great enthusiasm and a renewed sense of purpose that I join you today at this pivotal Field Strategic Security Conference and Retreat, this gathering of our nation's finest security minds under the theme Improving Nigeria's Internal Security and Economic Prosperity Through Inclusive Policing is not only timely but imperative as we navigate the complex interplay between security community trust and sustainable development. Over the past 4 editions, this conference has proven to be a crucible for innovative ideas and actionable strategies. Today, as we reflect on the theme of inclusive policing, we are reminded that security is not merely a law enforcement mandate, but a collective social contract. Inclusive policing demands that we bridge gaps, listen to communities, and integrate diverse voices into our strategies. It is about fostering trust, ensuring equity, and recognizing that every citizen, regardless of background, has a stake in Nigeria's peace and prosperity. The nexus between internal security and economic prosperity cannot be overstated. A secured environment is the bedrock upon which businesses thrive, investments flourish, and livelihoods are sustained. Conversely, on the flip side, economic stability reduces vulnerabilities to crime and extremism. As senior officers, your leadership in championing community-centered approaches will directly catalyze this virtuous circle. By prioritizing dialogue, cultural sensitivity, and partnerships with local stakeholders, we can dismantle the roots of insecurity, from insurgency, communal crisis, banditry, kidnapping, to cybercrime, and unlock Nigeria's vast economic potentials. This retreat offers a unique opportunity to step back from the front lines, recalibrate strategies, and embrace innovative frameworks. Let us use this moment to critically assess our approaches, share lessons from the field, and recommit to policing that is both proactive and compassionate. To the organizers, particularly the Inspector General of Police, IGP Abeokuta Abeokuta, PhD, I applaud your vision in creating this platform for collaboration. To the officers and other stakeholders, the challenges we face are daunting but not insurmountable. Let this retreat ignite bold ideas, foster cross-sector synergy, and reaffirm our resolve to serve as guardians of justice and enablers of prosperity. As we deliberate, remember that the communities we protect are counting on us. Let us live here not only with refined strategies, but with a renewed pledge to uphold the dignity, rights, and aspirations of every Nigerian. Together, we will build a safer, more prosperous nation. Thank you, and may this retreat yield transformative outcomes for our beloved country. Happy deliberations. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. My name is Oke Bakasi. Most people know me as actor, comedian, and event host. But one of the things that I do on the side is research. Recently, I've concluded a research project, on the effect of alcohol on marriages in a dwindling economy. And it will amaze you to know some of our findings, that contrary to popular belief that some reasonable percentage of marriages are surviving because of alcohol. Some of the men interviewed did indeed show that stopping over at the drinking bar before going home after work has reduced domestic violence. So we are still working on this research. But the one I'm currently doing now is the positive impacts of the sugar daddy economy, a case study of Nigeria and African women. And the next person I'm about to call is one of the people that we have penned down to go to for some research findings. And I'm talking about the highest ranking police officer in Kenya. Ladies and gentlemen, please, at this point, I'd like to invite the IGP of Kenya, IGP Douglas Giracho, please. You're welcome, sir, to give us your goodwill message.
Thank you very much for the invitation. And in the interest of time, let me go straight. I say, His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who is ably represented by the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Excellencies, senior government officials present with us here this afternoon, the Executive Governor of Ogun State present with us here this afternoon, all the senior commanders from the police force of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Inspector General, and my very good friend, thank you very much for inviting me here this afternoon. The Inspector General in charge of the police of the Republic of Rwanda, my very, very, very good friend, Felix. Thank you very much. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I am deeply honored to join you today and also to have an opportunity to address the esteemed gathering. Assembled for the Strategic Security Conference retreat for the senior police officers in Nigeria. First and foremost, I bring you greetings from the National Police Service of the Republic of Kenya and the people of Kenya. For many years, Kenya and Nigeria have enjoyed cordial mutual relationships, seeking common good for the citizens and benefiting from the strength of partnership. And today, congregation, therefore, is yet another key opportunity to fortify these relationships. During the 5th Media Coordination Meeting of the African Union held in July 2023 in Nairobi, I recall that there were deliberations between African Union heads of state and government regarding the need to conduct joint exercises and for training security agencies, particularly in surveillance of our respective borders in the wake of terrorism and other transnational crimes. Furthermore, the such meeting held last year underscored, among other things, the need to promote cooperation aimed at improving the standards of living for the African citizens, maintain and foster close and peaceful relationships among African Union member states, and enhance economic stability. The above intentions are in line with the African Union vision of an integrated, prosperous, and peaceful Africa driven by its own citizens and representing a dynamic force in the global arena. To further domesticate and actualize this African Union vision in the policy context, African Union heads of state and government adopted the African Union Mechanism for Police Cooperation Statute in the year 2014, thus enabling and establishing the AFRIPOL, which I am the chairman as at now. The mechanism was established as a framework for police cooperation at strategic, operational, and tactical levels. Currently, key focus areas for the mechanisms are the fight against transnational organized crimes, terrorism, and cyber crimes. From the foregoing, this security conference and retreat, it is perfectly placed and well grounded on the African Union vision, the objectives and the objects of the AFRIPOL, and also the strategic goals of the Nigerian police force. For this, I congratulate the Inspector General of the Police, my good friend IGP Kayonde, for this very important initiative. As the President of AFRIPOL, I applaud IGP Kayonde, who has been a very resourceful representative in his capacity as an Inspector General and also as the Chairman of the West African Police Chiefs Committee, the WAPCO. I have no doubt that the Nigerian Police Force, WAPCO, AFRIPOL, and other policing organizations are set to benefit from his apt leadership. I acknowledge that this would never have been possible without due support from the government of Nigeria. I also appreciate the collective support we continue to receive from our respective governments and the regional policing bodies and also the African Union Mechanism for Police Cooperation, the AFRIPOL. Based on the resolutions from the AFRIPOL Extraordinary General Assembly held virtually in November last year, we resolved to amend the AFRIPOL's structure and statutes to get the mechanism grow into an organ of the African Union. This will enable AFRIPOL to execute its mandate effectively, and I do rally for needful support from heads of states and governments towards this goal. To the senior police officers attending the conference, I congratulate you for having been granted the opportunity to serve humanity, and also for earning your promotions to the various levels of the police command. This conference themed improving Nigeria's internal security and economic prosperity through inclusive policing, providing an opportunity to better your competencies individually and collectively as an organization. It is an opportunity to run alternative policing approaches, to interact and share experiences, and also to challenge each other in coming up with the policing solutions to match the contemporary security challenges. We all know that security is an integral part of socio-economic development in any society. To achieve sustainable peace and security, the relevant agencies, including police officers, are primarily mandated to maintain public safety and order, which creates a conducive environment for businesses to operate, to attract investments and foster community growth by ensuring that citizens feel secure enough to participate actively in economic activities, pursue education, and generally contribute to the well-being of their society. Your input in the equation, therefore, and dear colleagues, cannot be overstated. The only concern is how can you better the policing services? The call for inclusive policing is one major bold step in the right direction. This approach entails professional service and reflection of the communities served by the police. These are areas all our policing organizations in Africa are working to improve on, including matters police reforms and transformation, gender mainstreaming, culture change, betterment of police welfare, and also equitable recruitment and placement. One of the key benefits from inclusive policing is a situation whereby communities get policed by consent. From inclusive policing, police get natural support from the communities. They benefit from the wide range of perspectives and experiences, and also become better equipped to understand and respond to unique and dynamic security challenges. I therefore encourage you to take full advantage of this conference and retreat, bearing in mind that other levels of the police force look up to you for leadership and command. We are all called upon to continuously better the competencies and retune individuals' attitude and character for improved service delivery. I am sure that when the retreat concludes, the officers gathered here will have to serve their country full of vigor and patriotism. On the matter of security, the world has become a global village thanks to infrastructural and technological advancement. The world is currently more interconnected than ever before, and so it has been for criminal activities. To address the challenge, we must remain committed to strengthening and harmonizing the capacities of the law enforcement agencies in our member states. We should reform cooperation and collaboration in the prevention and fight against crime under AFRIPOL. We continue to build partnerships with regional and international law enforcement agencies, including Interpol, so as to synergize our efforts in combating the security threats. As I conclude, I take this opportunity to appreciate the warm welcome and the reception accorded to us upon arrival, as well as the gracious hospitality that we have enjoyed throughout our stay. On behalf of my delegation, I thank you once again. I believe that the knowledge, experience, and expertise shared during the meeting will provide new tractions and generate new pathways to tackling crime and other law enforcement challenges, not only in Nigeria, but also for the benefits of the entire continent. Finally, may the boards created during the 5th edition of the Strategic Conference and the Retreat for the Senior Police Officers in Nigeria remain critical pillars for future partnerships and collaborations. I thank you.
Goodwill message from the Inspector General of the Kenya National Police, Mr. Douglas Kirocho. He doubles as the chairperson of AfriPol. Please, can we put our hands together for him one more time, ladies and gentlemen? Your Excellency, Mr. Vice President, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we want to acknowledge very quickly the presence in our midst of the Executive Secretary of the Police Trust Fund, Mr. Saidu Mohammed. Can we please put our hands together for him? It's a pleasure to have you. Thank you very much. He was one of the first people to get in here. Thank you. And of course, we recognize also the National Chairman of the PCRC, Alhaji Mogaji Ibrahim Olaniyan. Thank you very much. Please put your hands together for him. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, for those who have just joined, especially those who are watching live, this event is being carried on live television channels, AIT channels, NTA, and also TVC. So we have an audience that actually goes beyond the people who are seated right here. We don't even want to talk about those who are watching the live streams online on the official page of the Nigeria Police Force and a few other associated pages. We welcome you and we thank you one more time. We, of course, are going to take one or two more messages of goodwill, and then we listen to His Excellency the Governor, and then, of course, the special guest of honor at this event. At this point, permit me to invite, after having listened to the chairperson of AfriPol, that we also listen to the gentleman who presides over the East Africa Police Chiefs Corporation. He himself is the Inspector General of Police of Rwanda, Commissioner General Felix Namuhorunye. Please put your hands together for him as he comes forward for his message of goodwill. Thank you.
Your Excellency, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, ably represented by the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Excellencies, I associate myself with the protocols as previously highlighted. Executive Governor of the state, my brother, Inspector General of Police of Nigeria and Inspector General of Police of Kenya, I am honored and privileged to have been invited to this beautiful and great country and for the opportunity to speak to the 5th edition of Senior Police Officers Conference. I am pleased to be with you as you share insights and in-depth discussions on improving Nigeria's internal security and economic prosperity through inclusive policing. This theme is highly significant, relevant, timely, and resonates well with the security concerns not only in Nigeria, but also in Africa. Indeed, we all recognize the fact that development can only take place on a strong foundation of peace and security. As law enforcement officers, we have a crucial role in fostering peaceful conditions within which our citizens can fully participate in the journey for their socio-economic well-being. In the modern, integrated political and economic setting, our core mission as police dictates that we constantly and consistently seek solutions to improve security of our people, to pave way for economic prosperity. As we gather here, we are reminded that internal security lies at the forefront of our nation's stability. No law enforcement organ can strive without the participation, the trust, and the collaboration of the communities they serve. Therefore, inclusive policing is not just a moral obligation, it is a requirement. Inclusive policing is both inclusiveness in the police force and inclusiveness in policing. It builds community engagement and trust, which is the basis of collaboration that law enforcement agencies need in order to effectively prevent and respond to crime. When police partners with the community, information on crime will flow freely. Citizens will take collective ownership of their security. It is worth noting that internal security and economic prosperity are deeply intertwined. A secure environment is conducive for economic development. Let me emphasize that it is our responsibility to create an environment where every individual feels safe and encouraged and engaged to contribute to the well-being of our societies. We should create a situation where people are able to take their safety and security for granted. It is my belief that we will conclude this conference with a renewed commitment to enhancing inclusive policing practices that foster internal security and stimulate economic prosperity. Finally, I reiterate Rwanda National Police and East African Police Chiefs Cooperation Organization readiness to partnering with Nigeria Police Force and WAPCO in various areas of policing, including but not limited to capacity building, sharing of experiences, and exchange of information. I thank you very much.
Commissioner General Felix Namuhoroye of the Republic of Rwanda. Can we please put our hands together for him, ladies and gentlemen? Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Inspector General of Police of Nigeria, in the course of his speech, alluded to the fact that cooperation, especially among security agencies on the African continent, is very important, which is the reason why these two police chiefs, one from Afripol and of course the other from EAP-CCO, have come to share their thoughts and also their experiences. Because the names of the countries may change, but sometimes in Africa, the security challenges are a little bit similar. So there could be a whole lot for us to learn from each other, especially considering the very important role that the police plays in our lives. I'm sure that the people who are watching would know that without the police, we would basically not have a functional society. They're the ones who stay awake so that very many of us can sleep. They're the ones who stand on the road so that we can drive through those roads safely. They're the ones whom we call to go to danger when we are running away from that danger ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone who appreciates the work of the police, please put your hands together for them one more time. At this point, I'm going to invite for a brief message of goodwill, and I've been assured it's going to be very brief. A gentleman who has a task of ensuring that the Niger Delta Development Commission, which he heads, the Niger Delta region of this country, actually benefits from, of course, all of the contribution that they make to the Nigerian state. He is the managing director of the Niger Delta Development Commission, a very strategic partner with the Nigeria Police and this event. Allow me to say, as someone who lives and works in the Niger Delta, that the period of service of this gentleman has witnessed quite a lot of improvement in the mandate and quite a lot of development in the activities of the NDDC in the Niger Delta. For his message of goodwill at CASPO 2025, please make welcome Dr. Samuel Obuku, MD, NDDC. Please put your hands together for him, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Your Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, ably represented by the Vice President of Nigeria, Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON, the Governor of Ogun State and his deputy, the Chairman of the House Committee, the Inspector General of Police, and the Inspector General of Police of Kenya and Rwanda. Please, at this point, let me also recognize head of other security agencies, and let me just rest on the well-established protocol. I'm actually going to make it very, very brief. I'm only just here in solidarity with the Nigerian police force for the fact that we have to say thank you for accepting to undertake this serious job of police in Nigeria. Thank you in the sense that it is a very major sacrifice you're making. So many of your men have lost their lives. Many people do not talk about their families for those who have lost their lives. The Nigerian police force is having barely about 370,000 men, policing a population of about 230 million persons. That tells you how serious the job is. But the Nigerian police force, most time, is being underappreciated. Sometimes you go through the social media, people cast aspersion on the Nigerian police force, people demonize them, people criminalize them. But we are here to say thank you, because you're doing a good job. When you calculate the maths of 370,000 persons policing about 230 million persons, you will know that, yes, the job is not easy. Yet Nigeria is still peaceful. Nigeria is still one. That is to say, these men and officers have done a very great job. The theme of this event is improving Nigeria's internal security and economic prosperity through inclusive policing. Inclusive policing has to do with all of us. So when you say the police is failing, you also ask yourself, how are you contributing to the security of Nigeria? So inclusive policing means all of us are police in one way or the other. Inclusive policing, do you report crime when you see crime, or do you aid the crime? If the police do not have information, how do they also protect you? How do they also secure you? So the police only works with information. So everybody, wherever you are, you also have the responsibility to provide that information to the Nigerian police force. But for this retreat and conference, we believe that it is going to bring about renewed vigor in terms of police in Nigeria, fresh ideas, review of previous activities which we know will bring about sustainable policies for the policing of Nigeria. But if I may want to suggest, part of the things that the Nigerian police force should consider, knowing the enormity of job that the Nigerian police force has, I want to suggest that the Nigerian police force should always carry out periodic vetting and evaluation of its men and officers. Because sometimes you must understand that some of the persons that give the police force bad name, sometimes they do it for selfish reason. It is not because it was something that the police force conspired to do. So continuous vetting and evaluation is very, very important. Then secondly, I also want to suggest the Nigerian police force should also invest in its men, the area of their mental health, because you must also ensure that you subject most of our men and officers to psychological check and also psychiatric check, because some of the people who carry these guns policing us, you don't know the challenges they have that probably leads them to commit some offenses or crimes. But when we do this periodically, it will always enable us to know those who are the good eggs amongst us and those who are drifting. So it will now balance a situation whereby the police force would not be having those kind of bad names. But however, for us, it is not only coming here to say thank you. The NDDC in the past have supported the Nigerian police force in the area of operational vehicles, in the area of housing. The NDDC have done that. Recently, the NDDC have decided to undertake building, constructing of 60 kVA solar inverters for all the state command offices in the 9 states of the region, which we have already done in Imo State. The other remaining 8 states have been also been given out and they will soon have it, but Imo State has been done. Recently, we also supplied communication gadgets to the River State Police Command and also repaired the masts that had failed before. In addition to that, we also repaired the failed APCs in Bayelsa and River State, and also in Bayelsa State, we just donated 6 250 Yamaha engine, 250 horsepower Yamaha outboard engine, and also rehabilitated 6 of their boats, which 2 were converted to ballistic, to also help in curbing crime in the Niger Delta. So for us, as NDDC, we are willing to partner more with security agencies because we believe, as an interventionist agency, without security, there will be no development. So development and security are intertwined. So for us, we believe in partnering and supporting security agencies. Thank you, and I wish you a very fruitful deliberation.
Thank you very much. The Managing Director of the Niger Delta Development Commission, Dr. Samuel Obuku, for your message of goodwill. And of course, it is very instructive to note that the NDDC MD has spoken not just talking, but he has of course indicated that the organization he leads is walking the talk. And he has given us very tangible contributions that the Niger Delta Development Commission under his leadership has made in contributing to the security of this country. I think that deserves another round of applause. Please put your hands together for him. Your Excellency, Mr. Vice President, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we will take another message of goodwill at this point, and it is going to come from the gentleman who plays a complementary role as far as the security agencies in this country is concerned. Somebody wrote a question, an article the other day in the newspaper and asked if the police is their friend, what is the EFCC? I think it is a question that the chairman of the EFCC may want to answer when he comes up here for his message of goodwill. So, ladies and gentlemen, may I please request that we put our hands together as I invite the executive chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to come forward and present his message of goodwill on this occasion. Please put your hands together for him as he comes. Thank you.
Well, to answer the MC, I'm going to follow the footsteps of Okebakasi. EFCC settles quarrels between husband and wife when it comes to financial dealings. Thank you. Your Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, ably represented by His Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Kashim, GCON, the Executive Governor of Ogun State, His Excellency, Prince Dr. Abeokuta, MON, the Inspector General of Police, the IGP, Mr. Kayode Abeokuta, PhD. Your Excellency, please permit me to reveal my shortcoming and my challenge here. I'm very poor at establishing long protocol. So the entire esteemed guests here seated this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm privileged to be here on the invitation of my good brother, the IGP. As EFCC, representative of EFCC, we always identify ourselves with the Nigerian police. And I want to thank the Nigerian police for laying a very solid foundation for Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Very solid foundation. It should be noted that most specialized agencies in Nigeria came out from specialized law enforcement agencies in Nigeria, came up from Nigerian police. That must always be recognized. So I want to thank you, the Nigerian police, for laying a good foundation that we are building on. For us in AFCC, we have decided to continue to collaborate and synergize with the Nigerian police in the area of prevention of financial crimes, investigation where one has taken place, and prosecution. Particularly, we have identified ourselves with the very serious mandate of recovery of proceeds of crime. Stimulating the economy is something that we take very seriously as part of the theme of this conference. And that's why I've made my way here to identify with this conference. So on behalf of the entire management and staff of EFCC, I want to congratulate the IGP and I also tell you and I reassure you of our solid support and commitment to the shared mandate. I want to also wish you a very successful conference. Thank you very much and God bless you all.
Thank you very much, sir. If the police is your friend, the EFCC is also your friend. There used to be a time when I would lobby the EFCC to include my name in their wanted list. Because at that time, if you want to blow, you know what we mean? When in Nigeria, when we say you don't blow, that means you become very big. There was a time if you wanted to blow and become big politically, your name has to be on EFCC wanted list. That means your local government will not be afraid that you have the kind of money that can survive any election. So then if you wanted to go into politics, you just lobby them. I was going to run for office then. I didn't have connection to EFCC. I wanted them to just put my name on their wanted list that I have siphoned 2-point-something billion, you know. Then my local government will be thinking maybe I'm hiding the money. When I win, I'll bring it out. But under his administration, if they put your name on that list, you're in trouble. Because everybody is now afraid. You're doing a good job, sir, and we appreciate you. Thank you very much for your service. Yeah. To talk to us next, Your Excellencies, is the Executive Secretary, Police Trust Fund. So please, if your hands are busy, please let me appreciate him. Mr. Saidu Mohammed, as he comes forward. and I'm hoping he will keep it brief for us. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, ably represented here today by Vice President Senator Kashim Shettima, Your Excellency, the Governor of Ogun State, Prince Dakwa Abeokuta, the Inspector General of Police, Dr. Kayode Adeola Agbetokun, and the Inspector Generals of Police from Rwanda and Kenya here today. Permit me, Your Excellency, to stand on all existing protocols. It is an honor to stand here before you today at this pivotal retreat where we deliberate on a subject that is not only critical to our nation's security but also fundamental to our economic future, improving Nigeria's internal security and economic prosperity through inclusive policing. For me, this is more than just a professional duty. It is a lifelong passion coming from a policing background. I have witnessed firsthand the sacrifices made by the men and women of the Nigerian police force. I have seen the resilience of the officers committed to protecting lives and property, often with limited resources. It is in this perspective that drives my work as the Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Police Force. Security and economic prosperity are two sides of the same coin. Without security, businesses cannot thrive, investments cannot flow, and communities cannot prosper. Inclusive policing, where citizens and law enforcement collaborate in a framework of trust, accountability, and mutual respect, is the key to achieving both. Countries that have successfully built strong economies have done so on the foundation of a secure environment. Investors need assurance that their assets and personnel are protected. Farmers must feel safe in their trade. Traders must also be able to move goods freely. This is why policing must go beyond enforcement. It must be a proactive, community-centered approach that instills confidence in the people. Inclusive policing is about making law enforcement a shared responsibility. It is about ensuring that policing is not just a force for the people, but a service with the people. This requires community engagement. Officers must work hand in hand with local leaders, traditional institutions, and civil society to co-develop security solutions. The community must see the police as partners, not enforcers of distant authority. Training and capacity building modern security challenges require modern solutions. The NPTF is committed to equipping the police with the advanced training in intelligence-led policing, community resolution, and human rights protection. A well-trained police force is more effective and trusted one. Multi-sectoral collaboration. Security is not solely the responsibility of the police. It requires partnerships with government agencies, private sector stakeholders, international allies, and funding model that attracts private sector investment into police infrastructure. With the NPTF, we've been in strategic interventions with the police. We have gone ahead in upgrading police training institutions, such as the Ikeja Police College. We're also looking into Detective College, Oji River in Enugu, and the deployment of states. In conclusion, the Nigerian Police Trust Fund pledges the continued commitment to transforming policing and assisting with the police force. I invite all stakeholders, government agencies, businesses, civil societies, and the public to partner with us in achieving this vision. Together we can secure our nation and unlock its vast economic potentials. May God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm also relieved to let you know that we are done with the Goodwill messages We have just 2 speakers and we'll be done, because I know that time is far spent. Yeah. Let me quickly use the opportunity to thank officers and men of the Nigerian Police Force for keeping us safe. Because if you have survived 2 robbery attacks like I have survived, you know that it has a lot of drama and trauma that goes with it. If you've been in a robbery situation like I have been, sometimes it's so confusing. We were in one. The guys were yelling out instructions. Move, don't move, stay, don't stay, lie down, don't move. What's your name? The woman said, Elizabeth. Said, God has saved you. My mother's name is Elizabeth. I won't shoot you. You next, what's your name? He said his name is Michael, but his friends call him Elizabeth. You know, everybody just wants to stay alive by all means necessary. All right, everybody, bring out your money, bring out your money. One was quickly trying to hide the wallet. The armed robber saw him and said, look at you. You Nigerians, you can't be honest. Bring out your money now, you're hiding your wallet. If armed robber shoot you now, you say we are bad people. Are you good people before? You know, it's crazy. And while all that was happening, suddenly they changed their mind. Everybody come down from the bus, come down from the bus, come down from the... Men this side, women this side. We quickly realigned. All the men were here, women were here. But one man was still with the women. They looked at that one and said, what are you doing here? Are you not a man? He said, no be man, no, I be the man, no. If I be man, why my fellow man go to push me around like this? And he had a point. Ladies and gentlemen, we had none of that incident while we were coming in to this wonderful state last night. It was a smooth ride, although we came in late. Thank you to the man who's also working hard to make this state very successful. I'm excited to know that he's doing so well in agro-business, trying to bring in partners who can make this place the #1 source of protein in Nigeria, seeing that your people like meat, orishi, shakipamwa, and all those things. Ladies and gentlemen, let me invite His Excellency, the Governor of Ogun State, Prince Dr. Dapo Abeokuta, MFR, to talk to us today.
Your Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, who today is ably represented by His Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency, Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON, the Speaker of the Federal House of Representatives, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, is today ably represented by Honorable Maki Yalema, the Chairman, House Committee on Police Affairs. Permit me to recognize all members of the National Assembly that are here present today. The Deputy Chairman, House Committee on Police Affairs, Honorable Wali Ahmed. At this point, let me recognize the host, Inspector General of Police, the man who has brought all of us together this afternoon, Dr. Kayode Egbetokun. I would also like to recognize his brothers that have come from other parts of the continent to be part of this auspicious occasion this afternoon. IGP Douglas Kanja Kirofo or Kirocho, I'm sorry if I'm misspelling that name, the IGP of Kenya, and the IGP of Rwanda, IGP Felix Hamu Huranye. You are all welcome to the capital of the Gateway State, Abeokuta. I would like to recognize all members of the Force Management Team. Permit me to use DIG Bala Chiroma as a point of courtesies to all the other 7 DIGs and AIG that comprise the Force Management Team. I'd like to also warmly welcome the EFCC Chairman, Mr.
Olanipekun Olukayode Olukoyede. I'm sure you can see the connection between him and IGP. Olukayode Egbetokun Olukayode Olukoyede. So if the police is your friend, the EFCC is definitely your friend. The chairman of the National Sports Commission, Honorable Shehu Diko, you are also warmly recognized. The chairman of the Police Service Commission, DIG Hashimu Agongo, retired, ably represented by my brother, DIG Taiwo Lakano. You're also ably recognized. We want to appreciate all other law enforcement agency heads and all paramilitary agency heads are here today. The Managing Director, NDDC, we also thank you on your maiden visit to Ogun State, Dr. Samuel Ogbuku, and those very kind remarks to the Nigerian police. All DIGs, all AIGs that are here present, you are all warmly welcome and recognized. I'll use Mr. Tokumo Talabi, the Secretary of State Government, as a point of courtesy to all members of this Ogun State Executive Council that are here today. The National Chairman, PCRC, Mogaji Olani Ibrahim, you are also appreciated. All other distinguished guests, all senior police officers across the country that are here present today, you're all appreciated. Gentlemen of the press and gentlemen, on behalf of the entire government and the good people of Ogun State, I'd like to extend warmest and special regards to the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, who today is well represented by His Excellency Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Your Excellency, your visionary leadership and unwavering commitment to peace, security, and national prosperity continue to serve as an inspiration to us all. We deeply appreciate your dedication and are profoundly grateful for your efforts in advancing the well-being of our nation over the past 2 years. In the same vein, I extend my sincere appreciation to our illustrious son, in whom we are well pleased and proud of, Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, particularly for all the hard work you have done since assumption of office. We also want to thank you for choosing and showcasing your state as a venue for this conference. I would like to thank the entire Nigerian police force for their relentless dedication to safeguarding lives and property across the state. Again, I welcome the Inspector Generals of Police of Kenya and Rwanda. Your presence, without a doubt, demonstrates and emphasizes regional cooperation and collaboration. I equally welcome the EFCC Chairman, the NDDC Chairman, the Chairman of the Nigerian Sports Commission, the Chairman House Committee on Police Affairs, and all other eminent and distinguished guests, and also commend the organizers of this event for the success of this year, 2024, holding in 2025 CASPO Conference and Retreat. Security is the cornerstone of any thriving society. As Kofi Annan, former United Nations Secretary General, once said, and I quote, "Security is not just about armed forces or law enforcement. It is about access to justice, economic opportunity, and dignity for all citizens," unquote. This underscores the reality that a secure society is one where every citizen feels safe, feels valued, and feels protected. We must recognize that security and economic development are intertwined. A safe environment attracts investment, promotes job creation, and drives sustainable economic progress. The theme of this conference, which is improving Nigeria's internal security and economic prosperity through inclusive policing is both timely and essential. Inclusive policing is about recognizing the unique needs of our communities and fostering trust and collaboration between law enforcement agencies and the people they serve. As Sir Robert Peel, the founder of modern policing, famously stated, and I quote, "The police are the public and the public are the police," unquote. A policing system that actively engages with local communities, upholds human rights, and prioritizes transparency, which will foster greater public trust, cooperation, and overall effectiveness. Strong collaboration between law enforcement and citizens is essential in combating crime and ensuring lasting peace. For us in Ogun State, security remains a top priority as we are the industrial capital of this nation. We are the only neighbor that Lagos has. At the last count, we envisage that every day, at least 2 million people drive through Ogun State or go between Ogun State and Lagos State every day. So you now understand why for us security is extremely important. Administration has consistently supported the Nigerian police and other security agencies through strategic partnerships, and we have continued to invest in modern security infrastructure and technology. We continue to work hand in gloves with the police in strengthening community policing initiatives. We understand that security is a shared responsibility, and we have worked to strengthen this synergy between law enforcement and our local communities. Our Building Our Future Together agenda emphasizes the role of security in achieving sustainable economic growth. A major challenge in security management is a lack of public trust with law enforcement agencies. This must change. We must build a policing system where every Nigerian, regardless of background, believes that law enforcement agents are their friend and are there to protect them, not to oppress them. As Professor David Bailey, a global security expert, once said, effective policing is not about fear and control, but about fairness, integrity, and public confidence, unquote. To this end, law enforcement officers must uphold the highest standards of professionalism, ethical conduct, and accountability. A police force that earns public trust will find citizens willing to provide intelligence, report crimes, and actively participate in security efforts. In line with our commitment to strengthen security, Ogun State has taken some very bold steps, which amongst others include reconstituting and reinvigorating our securities trust fund, which we have done now in collaboration with the private sector. We have funded the procurement of hundreds of patrol vehicles, motorcycles, and APCs. We are soon going to be giving our Nigerian policemen electric motorcycles so they don't have to rely on petrol to fund the motorcycles. We continue to implement community-based security initiatives for crime control at the grassroots. These initiatives are already yielding positive results. We remain committed to doing more to ensure that Ogun State remains the safest and most prosperous state in Nigeria. As crime becomes more sophisticated, security forces must evolve. We must integrate technology-driven solutions such as surveillance drones for monitoring high-risk, vast areas, particularly for timely emergency response. I was discussing with the IGP earlier on that in Ogun State, we are collaborating with a French company to provide us with drones that can provide facial recognition, and number plate recognition from as high as 8,000 meters. We'll soon be deploying these drones. We've also provided data-driven crime mapping capabilities to predict and prevent criminal activities. We should also ensure that we begin to look at artificial intelligence so that these can allow us to ensure that we are proactive. Digital forensic tools to track cybercrime and financial fraud, of course, are things that must be embraced. All these will allow our law enforcement agencies to stay ahead of criminals and enhance national security. As we deliberate today on improving internal security and economic prosperity, let us remember that security is a collective responsibility. Government, law enforcement, the private sector, and our citizens must work together. Policing must be professional, must be fair, must be people-oriented to build lasting trust. There is a nexus, as has been said over and over again today, between provision of adequate security, investment promotion, job creation, a safer nation, and economic prosperity. This conference presents a valuable platform for robust discussions, cross-fertilization of ideas, policy recommendations, and strategic collaborations. I'm confident that the deliberations here will shape policies that will further strengthen Nigeria's security architecture and contribute to national economic prosperity. Let me once again express our profound gratitude to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, ably represented today by His Excellency Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON, for his leadership in prioritizing security as a key driver of national development. I also like to extend my sincere appreciation to the Inspector General of Police, Dr. Kayode Abeokuta, and the entire Nigerian police force for their commitment to protecting lives and property. To all our senior police officers, security stakeholders, distinguished guests, I commend and thank you for your dedication to this noble cause. Let us continue to work together to build a Nigeria where peace, justice, and prosperity prevail. I wish you happy deliberations and thank you for listening to me. God bless you all.
Very emphatically ending his presentation there, our chief host, the very amiable governor of Ogun State, His Excellency Prince Dr. Abeokuta, CON. Can we please give him another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? Your Excellency, I believe you're a very good host. You're hosting the Nigeria Police because we hear that in a matter of weeks, you'll be hosting practically the entire country at the National Sports Festival, which is coming to Abeokuta. This has been made known to us by the chairman of the National Sports Commission, Malam Shehu Diko, who is also here with us. Can we please put our hands together and welcome Malam Shehu Diko? Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the high point of this event. In April of last year, 2024, at the Congress Hall of Transcorp Hilton Hotels, the Nigeria Police Force, under the leadership of IGP Kayode Abeokuta, did something which no other organization had done, at least as at that time in the Nigeria Police. It was the maiden edition of Nigeria Police Awards and Recognitions. His Excellency, the Vice President, one more time, was there sitting in literally for the President. And he saw officers, rank and file of the Nigeria Police, from practically all the commands in this country, recognized for their courage, for their day-to-day contribution to the security of this country. It's an event which had not been held before, and of course, I think it will be an enduring legacy of the tenure of Dr. Kayode Abeokuta as IGP. At that event, Mr. Vice President gave a speech which he called Courage Under Fire, a very inspirational tribute to the work that these men and women of the Nigeria Police do every day, presenting a bouquet, as it were, to them. He spoke from his heart, and I think it is a testimony to how close he holds the police in his heart. It is therefore with a lot of joy in our hearts that we invite him at this point in his capacity as the representative of the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, to give a speech on this occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome and put your hands together for His Excellency the Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON.
Please kindly sit down, please. Please. Your Excellency, the Governor of Ogun State, my friend Prince Dapo Olusegun Abiodun, and the Deputy Governor of Ogun State, Noimot Salako Oyedele, the Chairman, House Committee on Police Affairs, Right Honorable Maki Yaleman, and other members of the National Assembly present here. Our host, Inspector General of Police, Dr. Kayode Adeola Egbetokun, and his counterparts from Kenya and Rwanda, Douglas Kanjo Kirocho and Felix Namuhoranye. I would like to use DIG Balachuroma as my point of reference to recognize and appreciate the police management team and all the senior police officers present here. The Executive Chairman of the EFCC, Olanipekun Olukoyede, the Managing Director of NDDC, Dr. Sami Okuku, of the NSC, Shehu Diko, of the Police Trust Fund, Mohamed Sheidu, representatives of service chiefs, and that of the Chairman of the Police Service Commission, members of the Ogun State Executive and Security Councils present here, other senior guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, distinguished senior officers, esteemed guests, and security experts worldwide. It is a privilege to address you at the 5th Annual Strategic Security Conference and Retreat for Senior Police Officers. The timing of this gathering is crucial and commendable as we advance our administration's goals. The theme of this conference, improving Nigeria's internal security and economic prosperity through inclusive policing, aligns seamlessly with our administration's core objectives. We are committed to fostering economic growth by leveraging the vast potential of our human and natural resources. However, this vision is unattainable without a stable internal security landscape and strong stakeholder collaboration. Since 2023, we have embarked on bold and decisive reforms to address the deep-rooted challenges stemming from years of mismanagement and neglect. These challenges span various sectors and impact internal security, food security, unemployment, inflation, and infrastructure. While some reforms may initially be challenging, they are vital to realigning our nation with the vision of our founding fathers. We have introduced reforms to restore investor confidence, stabilize the macroeconomic environment, and reduce inflation. We are also taking prime measures to instill fiscal discipline, stabilize the foreign exchange market, and eliminate financial leakages by removing fuel and electricity subsidies. These efforts free up critical budgetary resources, enabling us to address long-standing infrastructure deficits. We are investing in roads, railways, and energy projects through public-private partnerships, which will lower transportation costs, expand market access, boost productivity, and create much-needed jobs. Our heart goes out to all Nigerians. The President emphasizes with the challenges we are facing. But be rest assured that no matter how long the night is, it must give way to the light of the dawn. Nigeria shall prosper once again. But internal security is fundamental for creating an environment where businesses and investments flourish. Recognizing this, our administration has prioritized strengthening our security agencies and their operational capabilities, ensuring that they are well equipped to confront emerging threats and effectively combat crime. I reaffirm our administration's commitment to enhancing the institutional capacity of the Nigeria Police Force, ensuring it is more effective and well positioned to fulfill its constitutional mandate as the lead agency in internal security. Inclusive policing requires recruiting and retaining a competent workforce while fostering a positive and supportive work environment. To this end, we are working to bridge existing security infrastructure and equipment gaps through a comprehensive and sustainable program that includes renovating police barracks, improving mobility, and upgrading essential combat and protective gear. These ongoing efforts, complemented by efforts from state governments like those of Ogun State, will certainly inspire confidence and reposition the Nigerian police force. Implementing the new minimum wage is among the many steps we have taken to enhance the welfare of Nigerian workers, including police personnel. We will continue collaborating with the police leadership to provide financial incentives to motivate officers and all security personnel to perform at their highest levels. While no remuneration can truly compensate for the sacrifices made by our security forces, we remain committed to supporting them in their crucial role of keeping Nigeria safe and united. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, while the Nigeria Police Force is constitutionally empowered to maintain internal security, protect lives and property, and uphold public order, it is essential to recognize that security is a shared responsibility. Communities and citizens must actively collaborate with the police to foster a safer society. No matter how well funded, no matter how well equipped or well trained a police force is, it cannot succeed without the cooperation of the people it serves. Public engagement and trust are central to the process of inclusive policing. During my visit to the Office of the National Security Advisor and the National Counterterrorism Center in Abuja, I stressed the importance of interagency cooperation in tackling security challenges. Synergy among all security agencies is vital to eliminating banditry, kidnapping, armed robbery, and other forms of criminality. Please, dedicate a significant portion of your deliberations to advancing strategies for multi-agency collaboration. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is my singular honor and privilege on behalf of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, to open this conference officially. I wish you all productive discussions and meaningful outcomes. And for our friends from Kenya and Rwanda, we are wishing you a very safe passage back home. Thank you, and God bless us.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vice President. We'll kindly request, Your Excellency, that you join us to take group photographs. Yes, Mr. Vice President. His Excellency the Governor will join the IGPs, all the people sitting in front all the way. Please join Mr. Vice President on the steps for the group photographs, please. Thank you very much. Yes. His Excellency the Governor to his right, the IGP to his left, the visiting IGPs. Please, you don't need to stand on the first step. You can take the second or the third step. Thank you. I think the steps are so well done that we can accommodate almost everyone with the group photographs. Thank you very much. Please, as much as possible, we want to have a very beautiful photograph of this event. It appears we have more photographers and cameramen than even participants. That means we are going to have enough of these photographs. We thank you very much, Your Excellency, for your presence, for your kind words, for your encouragement, and all of that. Please, policeman, be on standby. We're going to bring this to a close in not too long a time. We thank His Excellency the Vice President. Ladies and gentlemen, may we please rise for the national anthem, please.
Honorable Sodengi Shuaibu Achida to kindly assist us with an opening prayer.
صلوا على النبي الكريم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان بسم الله. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم إني أسألك بأني أشهد أنك أنت الله لا إله إلا أنت الأحد الصمد الذي لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك نستغيث يا أرحم الراحمين يا رب العالمين. Allah muna tausaya sunayenka kyawawa da siffofinka madauka. Allah ka taimaki mai girma gwamnati Ahmed Aliyu. Allah ka mishi jagora, ka taimaki gwamnatinsa, ka ƙara ba shi hikima da hazaƙa da basira wajen gudanar da wannan mulki. Allah ka sa a yi wannan taron lafiya, a ƙara shi lafiya, ka sa mashi albarka. Allah ka ba mu lafiya, zama lafiya da gama lafiya. Allah ka ƙara kawo mana zaman lafiya a cikin wannan jiha da wannan ƙasa baki ɗaya. Allahumma izzil islam wal muslimin wa ajilla shirka wa mushrikin wa dami a'da'in. Allahumma habib ilayna al-iman وزينه في قلوبنا وكره إلينا الكفر والفسوق والعصيان وجعلنا من الراشدين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم إنا نسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Thank you very much, sir. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Sokoto State, Ahmad Ali Sokoto, PhD, FCNA. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor Engineer Idris Muhammad Gobir, Speaker, Sokoto State House Assembly, Right Honorable Tukur Balabo Inga, former Deputy Governor of Sokoto State, Alaji Chisu Abdullahi Dettijo, Chairman of the All Progressives Congress, APC in Sokoto, being represented by his Vice, Alaji Hassan Dangote, the representative of the State Chief Judge, Justice Aminu Garba Sifawa, the Honorable Grand Kadi, members of the legislature, the Secretary to the State Governor Muhammad Bello Sifawa, Chief of Staff Government House Sokoto Aminu Haduko MNI, the Sokoto State Head of Civil Service Suleiman S. Fulani Ahmadu, representatives of various security agencies here with us, our elders in the state, Ambassador Sabi Isagar MNI, and Senator Saliu Bokwai, senior special assistants, senior special advisors, ulamas, other distinguished personalities, my colleagues in the pen profession, a very good afternoon or evening to you all. Your Excellency, before we dive deep into why we are here this afternoon, I would like to inform this gathering that this event that is about to take place here is currently being televised on TVC, NTA, Alu TV, Rima FM, Rima Radio, Vision, and a host of others. So it's been adequately and well transmitted live, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, without consuming much of our time, permit me to now start by inviting, as we gather here for the formal distribution of the Ramadan package to our imams, muazzins, and Islamic scholars in the state, being that we are just few days away to the holy month of Ramadan. Permit me, Your Excellency, to start by inviting the Sokoto State Commissioner for Religious Affairs, Associate Professor Jabir Sani Mayula, to come forward for welcome address. The Honorable Commissioner, sir.
ما شاء الله تبارك الله لا إله إلا الله ما شاء الله تبارك الله
الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام الأتمان الأكملان على خير خلق الله أجمعين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد Your Excellency the Executive Governor of Sokoto State, Your Excellency the Deputy Governor, the former Deputy Governor, the Speaker, respected elders, distinguished scholars, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It is my pleasure to stand here before you and welcome you to this very important occasion where the Sokoto State government is going to disburse financial assistance and food assistance to very important people in the society, to imams, their deputies, muazzins, and Islamic scholars. It shall be noteworthy that these people are people who help in moral upbringing in the society. They are the people who have dedicated their lives in teaching Islamic, knowledge, in teaching Islamic rituals and morals upbringing. So they are bridging part of responsibilities of government in making sure that we have a sane society. We thank you, Your Excellency, for giving them this assistance, and it is part of your promise that you're going to promote religious affairs, and this has been seen and this has been witnessed by many people in the country. Whenever I meet a notable person in this country, a notable Islamic scholar, he will ask me to thank you on his behalf because of the assistance you are rendering to this sector. Our Islamic scholars, our imams, our muazzins are really appreciative of this gesture, and it shows that your commitment to fulfill your promise is really certain and is going from strength to strength. On the part of scholars and the beneficiaries, I'm calling on you to show appreciation, to be appreciative of this gesture, to reciprocate this gesture by praying for His Excellency and praying for this state, and also continue the good work you have started by purifying your intention and having ikhlas and doing it the way it is up to be done. His Excellency is always putting you first before any other thing. Whenever anyone suggests anything that will promote or assist religious affairs, His Excellency will take that advice and he will implement it right out. I thank all of you for coming, and I thank all of you for attending. Mai girma gwamnan jihar Sokoto, mai girma mataimakin gwamna, mai girma mataimakin gwamna wanda ya gabata, mai girma speaker, manya-manyan baki, manya-manyan shugabanni, manya-manyan malamai, na tsayu nan ne da mai muku barka da zuwa a wannan bagire inda gwamnatin jihar Sokoto karkashin mai girma gwamnan jihar Sokoto Dr. Ahmad Aliyu Sokoto FCN zai raba tallafi na musamman ga wasu mutane masu matukan muhimmanci a cikin al'umma wanda suka hada da manya-manyan malaman addinin musulunci, limammai, ladannai da na'ibai. Abin da ya kamata a fahimta shine waɗannan al'umma ne waɗanda suka sadaukar da rayuwarsu wajen karantar da addini da ya kunshi ibada da kuma tarbiyyar al'umma. Don haka sun ɗauke ma gwamnati wani nauyi da ya azu a kanta da tabbatar da cewa an samu tarbiyya a cikin al'umma. Mai girma gwamna ya yi alƙawarin taimaka ma lamuran addini, kuma tun sadda ya shigo cikin gwamnati kowa shaidu ne cewa irin waɗannan abubuwan suna aukuwa yadda ba su taɓa aukuwa a baya ba, kuma a yanzu ba mu ganin suna aukuwa a wasu jihohi ko wasu sassa na ƙasar nan. Malamai mai girma gwamna suna godiya da irin wannan cika alkawali da ka yi musu, kuma ka ƙara musu bisa ga yadda ka yi musu alkawali. Don haka ba taɓa haɗuwa da wani malami ba ko wani sanannen mutum a wannan ƙasar
face ya ce a miƙa sakon gaisuwa da godiya gare ka. Jiya manyan mallamai biyu na ƙasar nan sun kira ni yau daga sassan ƙasar nan, daga North East. Yau wani babban malami ya kira ni daga Kano, kuma dukkanin su abinda suke cewa isar da sakon godiya ga mai girma gwamna, domin suna ganin yadda ake taimakon addini a jihar Sokoto. Suka ce sun so a ce haka ake yi a ko'ina a Najeriya. Don haka ba abin mamaki bane ya zama mun zama mai girma gwamna, ka zama abin koyi ga sauran jama'ar Najeriya. Allah ya saka ma da alkhairi. Zuwa ga limammai da ladannai da na'ibai da za su fa'idanta da wannan kira na gare ku, godiya nan da kuke cewa in wa mai girma gwamna a madadinku, ku ci gaba da yin ta hanyar ci gaba da ayyukan kirki da na kwarai da kuke yi na tabbatar da an samu tarbiyya da zaman lafiya a cikin jihar Sokoto. Sannan ku ci gaba da yi mai girma gwamna addu'a, ku ci gaba da wa jihar Sokoto addu'a da a ci gaba da samun nasarori da zaman lafiya, kuma ku yi ma kanku da mai girma gwamna addu'a wayannan abubuwan da ya dauko na alkhairi Allah ya saka da shedan ya shiga tsakani. Mai girma gwamna muna godiya, muna roƙon Allah ya ƙara maka ƙarfin gwiwa, Allah ya ƙara maka nasara, Allah ya ƙara ma gwamnatinka nasara. Jama'a mun gode da duk wanda ya zo. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you, DJ. Well, we've just listened to a welcome address by the Honorable Commissioner for Religious Affairs, Sokoto State, Associate Professor Jabir Sani Mabullah. Your Excellency, our next speaker is going to be the representative of His Eminence, the Sultan of Sokoto, who is adequately being represented here by the Sarkin Sultan of Urno, Alhaji Kabir Chigari Alhassan. Sir.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Mai girma gwamnan jihar Sokoto, mai girma Dr. Ahmad Aliyu Sokoto FCNA, mai girma mataimakin gwamna Alhaji Honorable Idris Muhammad Gobir, mai girma Grand Kadi, mai girma kakakin majalisar dokoki ta jihar Sokoto, masu girma kwamishinoni, mayan mashawarta, sauran mayan mutane, assalamu alaikum. Mai alfarma sarkin musulmi bai ji daɗin rashin samun sukunin tahowa wannan lalura ta ibada ba, amma ina tabbatar da cewa ruhi ne na nan tare da mu, kuma yana cike da farin ciki da wannan ɗawainiya da wannan gwamnati mai karimci da tausayin jama'a take ƙaddamarwa a wannan rana mai albarka. Wannan abin da mai girma gwamna ya saba da shi nan, don da shigowar shi wannan mulki mai tsananin jinƙan jama'a, da haka ya fara da tattalin mallamai da gajiyayyu da marayu da masu lalura ta musamman da ma sauran talakawa. Ina roƙon Allah yadda ka mayar da martaban mallamai, Allah ya ƙara ɗaukaka ka, shi ƙara ɗaukaka mulkinka. Da wannan ɗan takardaccen saƙo ina roƙon Allah shi ƙara kyakkyawar jagora ga wannan gwamnati da kuma mai girma gwamna zuwa ga nasara. Wassalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much, DJ. Well, before this musical interlude, we've listened to a brief remarks by His Eminence, the Sultan of Sokoto, who in his message praised the Ahmad Ali-led administration for introducing this kind of assistance to vulnerable groups, the needy, and of course, the poor. Your Excellencies, other distinguished personalities, I would like to inform you that this event is being shown live on TVC, NTA, Alu TV, and several other radio stations in Sokoto Metropolis. Your Excellency, permit me to now deviate a little bit and move on to the entertainment aspect of this occasion. We have some few artists that will be called upon to perform here, and I think each and every one of them will be allocated just 3 minutes for him to perform. Allah ta muke kamar da aka saba akwai yaran mu mawaƙa da suke nan za mu ba su lokaci kamar da aka saba minti uku domin su zo su dan ba da nasu sako a wannan buki da muke yi. Da farko zan fara da gayyatar Balatalle kana da minti uku.
Shikenan daga an kai karshe sufurin kotu ta yanke hukunci ta ce Ahmad Ali shine zababben gwamna na halarci. Sai sun ki amincewa can hanci. Sai wata rana yaran mata sun yi hukunci ba zalunci. Sai wata rana yaran mata motar marasa birki sai faci. Sai wata rana yaran bayan sun ci mutuncin masu mutunci. Sai wata rana yaran motar marasa birki sai faci. Sai wata rana yaran bayan sun ci mutuncin masu mutunci. Sai wata rana yaran malam babu ragawa babu kawaici. Sai wata rana yaran malam.
Thank you very much. Well, my attention has been drawn on the time constraints and activities, and His Excellency is having a lot of tight schedules immediately after this event, so we are going to make this distribution very brief and snappy. Your Excellency, other distinguished personalities, now my singular and privilege to take the podium.
Wanda ya ce wai ma'aru dan baiwa ta gaba wasan zaki cikin bakin aiki kai muka bara gamar tafiyar maka sakkwato ba wani in ba kai ba 070-33-70-55-54 ni abdul gidan diko mai wakar wala haula kenan na sake kawo sabuwar waka ta mai taken daram domin nuna tabbaci da goyon baya da jam'iyyar APC da jagoran tafiyar mu sanata da ta'alu ga ta dawowa mu tare da Alhaji Ahmad Aliyu Sokoto FCN tare da gudunmuwar Alhaji Jamilu Gwarsa a ci gaba da sauraro lafiya.
APC daram baba alu daram ba ni barin farin gida in koma bakin gida.
FCN da jagoran tafiyar mu sanata da
daram baba alu daram ba ni barin farin gida in koma bakin gida. Ahmad Ali ya hakuri haka Allah ya kaddaro 23 idan da rai ta makar gobe ta iso. APC daram baba alu daram ba ni barin farin gida in koma bakin gida. Ahmad Ali ya hakuri haka Allah ya kaddaro 23 idan da rai ta makar gobe ta iso.
Ar-Rahmanu wahidun kai ko yaushe zan kira.
APC daram baba alu daram
Kona ko da yaushe kai ne ka zame madogara. Da baiwa gare ni Allah ahadu.
Ahmadu ka rufe talakawa. Ku fatan mu kanka jan zaki har ka gama ba a yi kuka ba.
Thank you, DJ. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, other distinguished personalities, it's now my singular and privilege to most respectfully invite our young, dynamic, and very hardworking Governor, Dr. Ahmad Ali Sokoto, FCNA, to come forward and deliver his address at this all-important occasion, and subsequently flag off this program.
Wala quwwata illa billahi gwamna sai Ahmad. Dan Amerika gaskiyar ka ba wani mai ima.
Wala haula wala quwwata illa billahi gwamna sai Ahmad. Dan Amerika gaskiyar ka ba wani mai ima.
Wala haula wala quwwata illa billahi gwamna sai Ahmad. Dan Amerika gaskiyar ka ba wani mai ima. Wala haula wala quwwata
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على نبي الكريم. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Sokoto State, Honorable Idris Muhammad Gobir, Mr. Speaker, and members of the Sokoto State House of Assembly, Honorable Member representing Wamoku and the Federal Constituency, Honorable Ahmad Abdullahi Kalambaina, The former Deputy Governor of Sokoto State, His Excellency Chuso Abdullahi Dattijo, representative of His Eminence, the Sultan of Sokoto, representative of the Chief Judge, the Honorable Grand Kadi, Deputy Chairman of our great party, APC, the largest party in Africa, Honorable Commissioners and members of the State Executive Council, SSG, Head of Service and Chief of Staff, Government House, Sokoto, Special Advisors and Senior Special Assistants, Permanent Secretaries, Heads of Security Operatives in the State, Heads of Federal and State Government Agencies, our party elders in the State. I have seen Ambassador Sabi Isa Gada, Senator Salihu Bakwai, and Alhaji Me Akwai Jaridi. Our district heads, religious leaders, imams, deputy imams, and muazzims, women groups, youth leaders, members of the press, peace be upon you all. It is with great pleasure and immense gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I stand before you today to pluck up the distribution of maize and financial assistance to our dear Jumu'at Imams, their naibs, mu'adhims, Islamic scholars, and various religious organizations across the state. This initiative is designed to ease challenges faced during the blessed month of Ramadan and to show our unwavering support for the ulamas who play such a vital role in guiding our communities in accordance with the teachings of Islam. As we prepare for the holy month of Ramadan, I am pleased to announce that each imam will receive 5 bags of maize and a financial assistance of 100,000 naira. Similarly, the naibs will receive 3 bags of maize and 50,000 naira each, while muazzim will be given 2 bags of maize and 50,000 naira respectively. This support is intended to assist them and their families with a view to enable them focus on their vital religious responsibilities during the sacred period. Ladies and gentlemen, we are also providing financial assistance to 300 senior Islamic scholars, each receiving 200,000 naira. Furthermore, while another 100 scholars will be given 100,000 naira each, this gesture is in appreciation of the numerous spiritual contributions these scholars give to people of the state. Distinguished audience, in order to ensure that Islamic activities at the grassroots level are carried out unhindered,